This is an analysis of the case of Walker versus Baptist St. Anthony's issued in December 2024 by the Texas Supreme Court. The core legal issue is whether the expert report satisfied Section 74.351 of the Texas Medical Liability Act regarding the standard of care, breach of standard of care, causation of injury, as well as the expert's qualifications. The expert report's key allegations were as follows. As against Dr. Castillo, that he failed to measure the fetal heart rate with a scalp electrode. He left the hospital for over an hour despite heart rate concerns. He administered Pitocin despite non-reassuring fetal heart rate patterns. He delayed ordering/performing cesarean section, and he used an improper delivery technique. As against the hospital nurses, the allegations were that they failed to contact superiors when doctor left. They failed to properly manage medications, and they failed to monitor and report critical data. According to the Texas Supreme Court, the legal standard is that expert reports must represent an objective good faith effort to meet the statutory requirements, and they must provide a fair summary of the expert's opinions. The purpose of the reports are to screen frivolous claims, but not dismiss meritorious ones. Reports are to be reviewed in the aggregate. The trial court's decisions are to be reviewed using an abuse of discretion standard. As for the causation analysis, the court found the reports sufficient because they explained the connection between the delays and the injuries. They linked the improper delivery technique to the trauma. They connected fetal monitoring failures to oxygen deprivation, and they demonstrated how earlier intervention could have prevented injury. With respect to the expert qualifications, the court upheld the trial court's acceptance of the expert's qualifications. It held that Dr. Tappan, an obstetrician, was qualified to opine on neurological injuries. It also held that Dr. Null, a neonatologist, was qualified on nursing standards and the causes of asphyxia. As a result, the court held the expert reports adequately explained causation. The court also held the trial court correctly rejected challenges to the standard of care explanations, the description of the breach of those standards, as well as the challenges to the expert witness's qualifications. The legal significance of the Walker case is this. It reinforces a deferential standard for trial court decisions on expert reports. It clarifies that expert reports need not use specific magic words. They need not prove the entire case. They need not account for every known fact. The decision reaffirms that courts should review multiple expert reports in the aggregate, and that sufficient causation can be shown through statistical evidence, temporal relationships, and an expert's explanation of the mechanism of injury. The practical implications for plaintiffs are that multiple complementary expert reports can strengthen case. The reports should connect specific breaches to specific injuries, and statistical support helps demonstrate causation. For defendants, challenging any possibility language alone may not succeed. Defendants must consider reports collectively, not in isolation, and qualification challenges face a high burden. For trial courts, it should be noted there is broad discretion in evaluating expert reports. The court may resolve internal inconsistencies, and courts should focus on screening frivolous claims rather than testing the merits of the case.